Yo, it's your boy Casual Real with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one and a quick one at that. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got some time, man. We appreciate that love. And for this, let's get straight into it. It's been about 2 weeks or so, a couple weeks. Our man Joseph Parker took that hard loss, that tough loss to the likes of Fabio Wardley over in the UK. For this video, we're going to break down quickly, can Joseph Parker come back? And if so, how he can get back into title contention quickly and get himself back into that good position of greatness, right? Now, he's going to be okay. His career is pretty solid. He's taken on pretty much the best that you can take on in his era in the heavyweight division. But can he, in this last bit of his career, we're turning it around. He's still a young man, but in this last bit of career, this last turnaround, right? How he can get back to the top level and get that shot at a championship title that he really had deserved for all these years. But before we get into that, let's get into this. Quick recap of the fight, right? Whether you agree or disagree, he got stopped in the 11th round. The fight went pretty much how we predicted in our 3-minute fight drills, our 3-minute fight breakdowns. Joseph Parker was the better boxer that night. He was up on the cards. They showed you. He controlled the action. He definitely had the better jab. He had the better overhand right. And he was really moving around and was very aggressive. But it also went the other way. We said it could go. Fabio Wardley's like a Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Better boxer, but started late as well. But more importantly, he's got power. He's got pop. He's got something in them hands, man, that can turn the fight around in his favor just like that. And that's what happened in round 10. That's where it started. And then he finished it up in round 11. Now, in our opinion here, I thought Joseph Parker was okay. Not too damaged, not too wobbled. He looked okay. He was rolling with a lot of those blocking. But on the same end, I can see why the ref did stop it, because there were some unanswered shots there in the 11th round. And by the rules of boxing, that's what he's supposed to do. But in a championship fight like this, and especially when you know high caliber fighters like this, you know guys like Joseph Parker fight through and are true warriors and has deserved his shot here, deserved his chance, and is up on the cards more importantly. And you know what's on the line, that Usyk fight 2026. You kind of let the man continue. You kind of let this man, go out on his shield. Not that you want to see him get viciously hurt, but you could look at him and see that he's okay. He's rolling with the shots. He actually punched a couple in between. But yes, there were a little bit more unanswered shots headed that way. But you let that man go out on his shield. But there's a lot to cover for that. But for this video, to wrap it up, you should have let that man continue. There's a lot on the line. You need to assess what's going on. And the ref, it's his decision. He made one that's within the rules. But if you look into the bounds of the fight and bounds that was on the line and looking at the fighters themselves, to us, he made the wrong call. But neither here or there. Fabio Wardley, shout out to him. He turned it around, got himself back into position, and now has a potential shot at Usyk, which leads us to, how can Joseph Parker return? I think first things first. To me, he is warranted, earned an immediate rematch with Fabio Wardley. Why? While under Frank Warren, Joseph Parker, a gentleman, has taken the backseat to many of the other fighters also in Frank Warren's camp. Daniel Dubois pulled out that February 22nd fight, 2025, to go take on, Usyk. Claimed he was sick, but we all know what was going on. Joseph Parker is in waiting. Didn't get that shot. Doesn't have another fight on the line while they set him up with Martin McCauley as a replacement to take on Daniel Dubois. Beats Martin McCauley pretty quick, pretty easy. To us, it's warranted at least a keep busy fight while he's waiting on the winner between Daniel and Usyk. That's really what's supposed to happen. He never got a fight in between. So he walks into this Fabio Wardley fight with barely a couple rounds with Martin McCauley. Hadn't fought for a while, since taking on Zhang in 2024. There's some ring rust there. waits for the Usyk, fight after he beats Daniel Dubois. After Usyk beats Daniel Dubois, negotiations start. Usyk gets hurt, back injury, but then we see Usyk dancing immediately after that. After he asks for an extension, so they make a keep busy fight with the Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker, and that's not really a keep busy fight. That's a true championship title type fight, because the title probably should have been on the line and Usyk probably should have dropped it, but neither here or there. Joseph Parker steps in, takes on a dangerous fighter who's also in Frank Warren's camp, and is winning this fight and just gets clipped, man. It happens. It's boxing. Gets clipped, gets wobbled a little bit, makes it out around 10, heads in around 11, boxing well again, gets clipped, and the ref stops while he's on his feet. The fact that Joseph Parker was pretty much winning this fight, and had he probably boxed safe in that round 11 or 10 through 12 in those championship rounds and just fought behind the jab and boxed smarter, and that's no disrespect. The reason I say box smart is because Parker was trying to still go in there and take Fabio out, which speaks to the type of man Parker is. He's a warrior. He wants to get his man out of there and give a show to the fans. But at the same time, it didn't work in his favor, and it got, one split opening and it was over. To me, that warrants an immediate rematch. Will it go the same way? Parker was winning this fight, and Fabio got himself a good shot in there and took advantage of him. Shout out to him. He finished it. But when you had a fighter like that that's went through what he's went through to get to where he was at and get to that moment and is winning and get it taken away like that off of a punch and then off of a stoppage from a ref, which many disagree with, there's a lot of controversy there. I think you have no choice, Frank Warren, to bring them back. These are your fighters. Put them back in the ring and give that man, Joseph Parker, the immediate rematch. To us, that's the first step back to it. But let's be honest, Frank Warren has done Joseph Parker really no real favors. I think they're going to push for Fabio to go to Usyk and try to get that fight going. And I think Usyk's going to gladly take the Fabio Wardley fight because he knows he can outbox him clear. And I think Usyk has enough power to also hurt Fabio. So I think he feels no threat, but he will take Fabio seriously. Joseph Parker, back to greatness. If you can't get the Fabio fight, right? And let's give you two COAs. First COA is if they treat him well, meaning his promoters. Give him the immediate rematch. Go in there, take care of business, box smart, box, fair. Keep your head on the swivel and go in there and beat Fabio Wardley, whether it's by TKO or unanimous decision. Then you're right back to where you need to be. That's the quick step, right? That's the early 2026. Like they get it on. Let's get the immediate rematch March 2026, and then you can get the Usyk fight August. COA 2. You don't get the Fabio rematch. The quickest way to get back into title contention in this case is obviously if Usyk drops one of these belts, or let's just say he gets it on with Fabio early 2026, say the same March timeframe I gave for you for the rematch. Then at the same time on the undercard of Usyk Fabio, take on the next big threat, the next guy who is in line, or guys. But in our opinion, there's only really two options right now who are actually sitting with title shots in the first in the rankings, right? And that's either Ajit Kabayel or Filip Hrgovic. Now, personal opinion, I'll go Filip first. I think he's ripened for the picking for the likes of a Joseph Parker. Ajit Kabayel is a problem and a serious threat, and a very good boxer at that, but who's been inactive this year. Hasn't had a lot of action this year, and he might have some ring rust up on him. I know he has a upcoming keep busy fight coming soon, since he can't get the Usyk fight right now either, which may get him, get his motion going. But he has ring rust as well, and maybe good time to take him on early 2026. But again, I say on the undercard of Fabio Wardley and Usyk because that puts the pressure back. If you can beat either one of those two top tier fighters on a big stage like that on the undercard with Usyk present, with Fabio Wardley present, that will force the action back that you were mistreated for the past year and a half or so. didn't get your shot. You deserved it. And more importantly, that you really did beat the likes of Fabio Wardley, or should have beaten the likes of Fabio Wardley. And that should be you on that main stage that night. But let's keep pressing forward. Go in there, handle business. It's either got to be Ajit Kabayel or Filip Hrgovic. The reason I'm picking them because they're in high position now. They are high status. They are in line for the next shots at the belts from Usyk if he keeps them. He can always drop one at any given time. It's his prerogative. But that is the only way to get back into this thing quick and fast. You got to take on either. I prefer the Fabio Wardley rematch immediately, early 2026, handle business, go straight to Usyk. Or you take on Filip Hrgovic, Ajit Kabayel on the undercard of Fabio Wardley, Usyk, handle business, enforce the action. And the last thing you got to do with all this, it's cool to fight. It's cool to get the things and the notches under your belt. But we have seen where you have done the work, beaten Deontay Wilder, beaten Zilly Zane Bang, and not getting that shot, right? You put in the work, beating Barton McCauley. The next thing you got to do, Joseph Parker, I know you're a gentleman, that's going to be hard. You got to put your promoter in a corner and let them know what you want, what you're going to do, and make them do this and speak out on your name and force the business of boxing to respect you and put you in there with Usyk, with these top contenders. You're a gentleman, you're nice, but there's also a way that gentlemen can force the business, force the promoters. Get in there, speak your mind, stand on the podium, get the mic, and let your voice be heard. Your hands are clearly heard. Your talent is clearly heard. People see your story. People see how you've gotten treated underneath this promotional company. People have seen how the business of boxing has done you. It's time for you to voice that and enforce that and let the business of boxing know you're not done. It's time to come back. You need one of these three men, Fabio, Ajit Kabayel, Filip Hrgovic, to get right back in the title contention. There's an honorable mention. There's also the return of Anthony AJ Joshua, but right now he's got to get himself going again. I'm not sure he'll get back in the title contention anytime quick himself, but if somebody that can, it's a guy like him. He has the money, he has the business, he has the face, and he's going to get a lot of favors. So you could also maybe pick him off a little bit later in 2026. But either way, stick with the three, but more importantly, let your voice be heard and let the business of boxing know you're not done. You're back. It's time to get this thing going. Get the respect you deserve. Tough loss, brother. We know you're going to dust yourself off. You'll be back. Let's keep this thing going. It's your boy Cash Rebel Sunday Podcast, man. Hit that like button, comment below, and as always, subscribe. We're a small channel going quick. We appreciate that. Love until the next time. Peace.